welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carter. I'm DJ Carter. Happy to have you with us today. We're going to do homemade spaghetti, and I just want to go ahead and go over the ingredients and the seasonings that we're going to be using. Now, Max is not going to be able to pan down to show the seasoning, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over these, and then I'll show them again when I actually put them in. We've got 3 pounds of ground, fresh 80/20 hamburger. We have my skillet, which right now is heating to 350 degrees. Just a quick word on this. Spray that down very, very thoroughly because you don't want any of this to stick, because after all this is done, we're going to transfer it into a pot and let it simmer and boil down into all that merry goodness. So what we've got, we have oregano. We have pepper, actually in a garlic salt container, but it's pepper. We have garlic salt, seasoned salt, onion powder, garlic powder, basil, regular salt, and minced garlic. Okay, those are the seasonings that we have, and actually Max was able to show them. We have 2 very large mammoth white onions. Now these are not sweet onions, they're just regular white onions, and I don't get the little small ones because you would use 6 little small ones or 2 big ones. Now what we have for our also is our green pepper. Sorry about that. That's 2 medium-sized green peppers, finely chopped and actually diced. Now I want to swing over here to the right, and I'm just going to mention these real quick. We've got a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. We have a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, and I believe this is a 16 of 28 of diced tomatoes. Petite dice, actually. Now, oh no, sorry, those are just diced. I do want to mention one thing. I don't usually mention brand names for spaghetti, but I am going to do this for this on this occasion. I use Hunt's for the richness and boldness and flavor. It has a sharper taste and seems to do better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this heat up. When we come back, I'm going to show. I've also got a half of roll of, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I've also got a half a roll of 3 pounds of ground beef that is 70/30, and I'm using half of that to add a little bit more of a content of fat to it because this is leaner. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in the onions, let those onions become clear and translucent, then we're going to mix in the green pepper. Let that get all good. I'm going to season that. Once that's done, I'm going to add, once that becomes clear, I'm going to add in the garlic in there as well. Then I'll throw in the beef, let that brown, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. You'll see us with the onions and green peppers in when we come back. So we'll be back in just a bit on Cooking with Carter. Stay tuned, guys. Alright, we're back. I just want to show before we get started with the meat here. Take a look at the onions and green peppers. You're going to notice, and you'll be able to pick this up through our wonderful camera that we have that's been so well, is a sheen to the green peppers and onions. And you'll notice a brown. I'm just going to kind of toss this around a little bit so you can see. The garlic we put in first. We let the garlic set in for about 2 minutes by itself. We added the 2 large white onions, and I tossed them the entire time. I did not let them stay still. We cooked the onion for about 4.5 minutes, and basically that basically is all we've done, and we just kept tossing it, and you're going to see, which is what Max just showed, that translucent look to where you can almost see through them. What we're doing right now is we're going to go ahead and break up beef into little itty-bitty components of beefness. And yeah, go ahead and just start throwing it in there. Now, this is the key here. For making this, and you can, I mean, you don't have to be, super small with it. You can just go straight on in. Just, yeah, small enough. And as the beef gets incorporated in there, I'm just going to start tossing this, and you'll notice more and more beef get added. And this way, everything gets turned. And I can actually help you out on this, and you start on the other. There you go. And what you're going to see, all I'm doing is just pinching off little pieces, about, 2 finger size, 3 finger size maybe. And this is about 1.5 pounds of the 70-30. Now I'm adding the 70-30 first because I want to get that fat in there and let that fat end up in here and just go straight with it. And all you do is just toss it. Okay, just toss this. Doesn't take long at all. And you'll want to let this brown. Okay. Now, it doesn't take long. You'll notice some of that grease start to just melt down. And you'll see we're going to start adding the 80-20 in here. And as the 80-20 comes in, I'm just going to continue to mix that fresh. And I'm surprised this is going as fast as it's going. I was thinking this was going to take a while, but through the magic of editing and the power of holding time in the palm of my hand, I'm related to Professor Xavier. I'm sorry. I must admit that.
I'm glad you got time in your hand. All I have is
beef in yours.
Beef and bloody meat in mine.
All right. Yep. So all together, we're going to have about 5.5 to 6 pounds of beef here. And you can see, adding it like this, it just doesn't come forth in huge mounds. And you don't have to do everything at one time. So now, come over to this side, turn this around a little bit. And you got to make sure to get on the bottom to toss that onion and green pepper around too, so that all of that can get mixed in. Okay, we just about got the meat added in here. You can go ahead and just toss that in. I'll break it up.
It's thaw as it is. It's pretty much broken up.
That's what I was thinking. And one thing that we did do that helped us out before is we let this meat thaw out and put it in the fridge the night before, so that,
as well as draining all the blood out of it.
Yep.
So that helps a lot. There's a little bit left in here.
Okay. There you go.
And then just quietly put that in.
Okay.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
Alright, now we're gonna just keep tossing this around.
I'm gonna get about things here right, sir. Okay. Give me a moment.
Now, I'm just going to continue to toss this. Now, the good thing about this now is you don't have to move this around a lot, because if you're going to let this beef cook. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and wipe my hands as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonings in. Okay, we're going to start with oregano.
You want to use the rest of it?
No, I'll do that when we transfer it. Use a little bit of pepper. And again, when I'm seasoning, this is all seasoning to taste. So, garlic salt.
So it's pretty much after You know, practice and time is how much you know how to put in there.
Just from, you know, everything else I've cooked, and I know kind of what I like. Alright, there's the garlic salt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now onion powder, real easy. Little goes a long way. There you go. And I'll season it. And you can season this as many times as you want. Seasoned salt. Okay. And
are you gonna season it again? Like the bottom of it?
When I put it in the pot, when we get it transferred into the pot.
This concoction. You see all the different spices all layered on top of each other.
Yeah, it's... Now salt, you got to be careful because you don't want to add too much. I'm just going to go around. Generous portion.
You can always add in more salt, but you can't always take out less.
No, you can't. You can add, but you can never take away, and that's the problem. And finally, some basil. There you go. Now we're going to toss this around again.
There you go.
And you can see all that goodness of just the smell in here is pretty awesome. Now I'll be honest, I've attempted this 3 other times and it has not come up to my expectations. The one time I did it that it came out well, Max wasn't here. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to try it and we're going to do it and see how we do here. And you just see all that, I mean, beefy goodness. Whoa, sorry about that.
Please don't burn the camera, man. That'd be great.
How much of that did I get on the floor? Quite a bit?
No. Luckily, it's all on the table.
Oh, wow.
Don't forget your grease trap.
Okay.
You get a giant bundle of it in there.
Okay. Just going to turn this around. Is there a way we can get that off the table and back into the...
No.
All right.
Gonna have to go into the garbage. It wasn't that much though. Thank God.
Okay.
So get that front corner right there.
And like I said, with your spatula, just make sure you dig all the way down. And now, one thing I will tell you, okay, as I've got that all ticed around the way I want. Yeah, my English is very good. I passed the first grade. Okay, so once this is all tossed around and once the beef gets almost done, I'd say about 90% done, you basically want to drain this. Now, it's got a lot of yum-yums in there, which is a better word for that is the remnants of the stuck-on onion and the green pepper and all the spices at the bottom. But I don't want too much water in my spaghetti.
Or grease.
And the grease is good, but the grease and the water just it's not a good mix. So I'm going to, once this finishes, we're gonna put this into a colander. We're gonna drain it well. We're gonna put this into a big stew pot. We're gonna add in our diced tomatoes, our tomato paste, and our tomato sauce. And all you do, you let that boil on high for about an hour to 2 hours. Once it's cooked down to where you want, you turn it on simmer, you season it, you literally let it sit there for 1 to 4 hours, and you've got the best spaghetti sauce in the world. Now, the only thing that I won't tell you on camera is about my secret ingredient. There is a secret ingredient that a lot of people do use, but my mom said if I told what it was that she would put me in another chair, and I don't want to talk about what kind of chair it's going to be. But it has a lot of electrical power and it hurts. So we just will go with that, and that will be the end of it. We'll see you when we come back on Cooking with Carter. We'll transfer everything into the pot and show you how it looks. We'll be back in a short bit. All right, we're back on Cooking with Carter. Now I want to just kind of go over what we've done. We transferred the hamburger and the onions and green peppers and all those wonderful, lovely seasonings with just about maybe, I would say maybe, what, half a cup? Maybe third of a, no, not even, maybe a fourth of a cup of of that grease from the, we did use just
like an
a
eighth
little.
of a cup. There wasn't that much grease in there. So whatever we drained from the skillet into the colander, we just used that little bit of
all right. So
stuff in there.
I'm going to go ahead and add 1 container of mushrooms. Anything out of there? Okay. That
it'll do its best.
goes right in there. Now this is the trick here because not a lot of people know this. Keep your cans when you're done. We're going to add the sauce first. Okay, make sure. Turn that over. Tap it a couple times. Tap it on the side. Okay. We're going to add the 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Put all that out of there. And we're going to add the 6-ounce can
of tomato paste.
Now, here's the thing. If you need to add more later on, you can. But you don't want to add too much and then not be able to take it away. That's what makes this so bad. So, that's added now. We're going to fill up each can with water. And get that last little remnants of tomato paste out of there.
Pesky tomato paste.
Okay. How much water we got in that?
Almost full.
Yeah, let's dump just a little bit of that out. Maybe to the not quite the full, but there you go. Should be good right there.
The top rung.
So you want to go about to the top rung of your 28-ounce can. There you go. Okay.
I think it's just so they can see. Just so y'all can see. Okay, and then
now we're gonna have the 2 little cans of water. The
this is full.
8-ounce can of tomato sauce.
No.
And the can of tomato paste. Now guys, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to cheat just a little bit because I don't think we quite have enough sauce in there. So I have this can over here, which we're not going to use much of unless we've got some sauce in the fridge that's already opened.
Do you want me to start stirring?
Yep. Yeah, just be easy. And let's take a look and see if we've got some sauce in there in just a second next, if you would. I don't think Marshall can get to the fridge there.
Yes, sir. You can talk to the folks.
Alright, so I'm just going to continue to stir this just a little bit. Alright, we're going to open up the fresh can of sauce. Yeah.
It's been there real long.
Yeah, we had a can in there, but it honestly congealed, so that's fine.
So we're going to use like half of this?
No, not even that. Go ahead and open that up.
Okay.
And you can see that reddish tinge that this has got. And I'm sure this is more of a sauce than we're used to here.
Still looks a little soupy.
Yeah, that's because it's got to cook down.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to add this, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do.
I'm going to keep this lid.
No. I'm going to just drop that into a container.
Yeah, you do it.
Take it.
Let the cook do it.
And that right there is all we're going to add. So maybe about...
That was about half.
Was about half?
Yeah, it was pretty close to half.
Okay.
Maybe like one wrong above half, but...
Give that a nice stir around. Make sure you get on the bottom. Now I added just a little bit of vegetable oil to the bottom of the pot.
As well as spraying the sides and the bottom as well with cooking spray.
Cooking spray. So now what we're going to do, we're going to cover this. We're going to let it come to a boil. When it comes to a boil, we're going to let it boil uncovered for about 45 minutes. So we're going to let it boil covered and then uncover it and then let it boil for about an hour to an hour and a half. So when we come back, we'll show you how it looks once it's cooked down. We'll see you in a short few due to the power of editing on Cooking with Carter. We'll see you later. Alright, we're back on Cooking with Carter. We went ahead and took the spaghetti off the stove and let it cook down. We'll let you take a look at that. I let it boil for about an hour and 15 minutes. Now, one of the things you want to watch for, you want to make sure that you stir your spaghetti sauce very thoroughly about every 10 to 12 minutes so that it doesn't start to stick. If it does start to stick just a little bit, bring your heat down just a little bit so it doesn't stick too much. And you want to just keep a watch on that. So what I want to do on camera for you, got a little bowl of this and let it cool. That's good.
It's good.
That's on point.
Is it now?
It's got that nice. That's good. That's not a level 2 spaghetti. That's about a level 8 or 9. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah,
so
that turned out pretty good.
That'll do it for this episode of Cooking with Carter. Good Lord, wow! The meals we make are worth the wait. I'm eating spaghetti sauce. See you guys later.